behind why we're striving to constantly reach our goals. We have obstacles and challenges constantly confronting us from one direction or another that we're always constantly dodging. And if we keep our eyes straight and narrow towards where we want to go, it's amazing to see how we can strive in the right direction. And I'm sure most of you have probably heard 100 times before why it's so important to write down your goals. But have you actually ever heard why that's important? The sheer act of putting the pen to the paper, utilizing your eye-hand coordination, all of a sudden brings to life the goals that you've otherwise had in your mind. You now have something tangible. You have something you can look at, something you can see, something you now know that you're chasing after. Our goals, when written down and placed before us, create that shining light and give us that sense of hope in terms of where we want to go. And what you first want to do is obviously write your goals down. You want to put them into motion and have action. You want to track your progress because you need to see where you're going. And last, you want to finish up with staying motivated. As I brought up, there's always something to kind of thwart us along the direction. So first off, when you're going to write your goals, one of the key things you want to do is look at all aspects of your life. You want to look at spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal. And then you want to look at the what's. That's kind of like the extra key elements that are involved. And that can be anything from what drives you. What's your sense of responsibility for yourself and your family? Also, what motivates you? Sometimes we all get so wrapped up in what's happening and not happening that we just need to take a step back and really focus on the joy that's right there in front of us. And then what directs you? If you could write a purpose statement for yourself, what would that look like? What's your set of values and expectations for yourself? And then also, what inspires you? Where do you find your source of inspiration from? This can be found in so many different areas. Have any of you ever watched a movie like Rudy or In Pursuit of Happiness? When you're sitting there watching that movie, you start cheering, you start rooting for the underdog in that story, and you see them constantly overcoming all these challenges. And what happens is a part of you relates naturally to the underdog in that story, and before you know it, you've all of a sudden enlarged your own vision of what you can accomplish by having seen that. Now, everybody may get their inspiration from different areas, be it books, quotations, whatever it may be. But to truly, truly get started with writing your goals, you want to look at what do you want your life to look like. Do you have goals for your family? Maybe a special trip you've had planned with friends. Maybe they're financial goals or exercise goals. Whatever that may be, you want to have that laid out in front of you. The number one mistake most people make is not writing their goals out. I don't know if you guys knew this, but less than 5% of the population actually has their goals written down. So the vast majority of people, there's a good reason why they may not be living the life that they're hoping to lead. They don't know where they're wanting to go. And then secondly, you want to take action. Will Rogers was best known for saying, if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you stay there. Hence, you need to take action. You need to keep going. One of the biggest errors people make in looking at goals is when you look at that really, really big picture, all of a sudden you become overwhelmed. You're not sure where to go. The best thing you can do is break those big goals down into little bite-sized pieces, into mini goals. Every goal can be broken down into mini goals. You never want to have them be too long or too difficult. One of the best books written on this topic alone is called The Kaizen Way by Robert Meyer, and I'll have a handout that will have that name on it. But the beauty of that is he talks about the fact that it's human nature for all of us. When we look at a big goal in whatever area of our life, when we look at a big goal, we hit the panic button and go running for the hills. It scares us. We don't know where to start. But as soon as you break it down into those little baby steps, next thing you know, you're reaching it, and you've got another step forward and another step forward, and before you know it, you're getting closer and closer. And again, that can be in any area that you may be looking to achieve that kind of success. Third, got to track your progress. What good is a goal if you don't know if you've ever met the goal? So you want to know all the many goals that you're reaching along the way, that you're heading in the right direction. One great way to determine a long-term goal is to look at where you want to be, say, in 10 years. And then set a goal for 6 months to a year to 5 years so that you're on course to reach that ultimate big goal. I know for my husband and I, it was buying our house. Stash the money, get the direction of where we need to go to make that first purchase. Fourth is staying motivated. I love this one. Zig Ziglar says, discipline yourself to do the things you want to do, and the day will come when you'll, I said that wrong. Discipline yourself to do the things you need to do when you need to do them, and the day will come when you will be able to do the things you want to do because you want to do them. Again, keeping our goals written and out in front of us keeps us focused on the why behind what we're doing every day. And when we go forward, a couple fun ways to stay engaged and motivated is one, create a poster board. I know it sounds like a young school kid project, but if you cut out clips of the tangible goals that you want to reach, put them on a poster board so you see them every day. I have mine hanging up at work. You can also, funny enough, write yourself a letter. Where do you want to be in a year? Write a letter to yourself and open it in 9 months, and then see how close you've come to reaching those goals. You can also, what was the other one? Oh, and then journal your accomplishments. Again, going back and really seeing what you've accomplished and where you've been along the journey. So to recap, you want to create goals for yourself by looking at all aspects of your life. Knowing precisely what one wants helps make clear to concentrate and improve on, and prioritizes your goals. Also, you want to get up and take action every day, as much as possible, towards the goals that you're heading for. And then next, track your progress, no matter how small you feel or how insignificant the success may be at that time. Just know you're heading in the right direction. And lastly, stay motivated by constantly reviewing those goals. Keep your eye on the prize, and always remember what matters most.